we get to close and stay on.
Yeah, right. We be having people dip on us like, yo, we just want to thank you, bro.
Yeah, sometimes we forget, and they be like, all right, when we say goodbye to everybody else, they're like, oh, okay, that includes me too.
All right, I'll start 30 seconds. Hit that intro.
"世界の怒りは危険にさられている」「生命は危険にしているよ」「昔々から暗闇がいた」「髪の毛は私たちを救うことができるよ」「君の笑顔好きから」「時間をいつもしたい」
Episode of Dread Dad's podcast. My name is Clint.
My name is Mal.
And we back with another special guest. Today we have Marcus Gilmore. Malcolm, do you have the hand clap on tap?
Yeah.
Love it. Like we always tell you guys, we either find our guests via Instagram or via TikTok. This time we found Marcus on Instagram. Yeah. I seen a post for the McDonald's All-American game this year, I think. And he's like, yeah, I brought a little baby to the city. I was like, oh, I got to holler at this guy. Like, I can only imagine how much stress that was just bringing a little baby to the city.
Man, you don't know, man.
Yeah, so so that's how I found Marcus Gilmore. Of course, we've been going back to back. I think he's like the first person like to just hand out his number. He was like, all right. He said, hey, yo, this Instagram email stuff ain't working. Hey, just shoot me a text. I was like, all right.
Let's keep going. Let's keep the conversation going.
Yeah, so he's a very dope person. He's stayed on top of. We talked via email, via IG, via text, whatever. And we got him here today. Read his bio. It's fucking amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's low key amazing. He probably don't call himself this, but I think he's a marketing master, and also he calls himself the culture curator. I like that too.
Yeah.
So Marcus, tell the people about yourself. Like where did it start? How did you get into like just as far as everything that you do right now?
Man, so first off, I appreciate it, and I want to salute you all for again having a platform that speaks on not only what people need to hear, but also, you know what I'm saying, give them a little, educated ignorance, you know what I'm saying, having fun with it, but also keeping it real. And so thank you for the opportunity to speak here and chop it up and had a, dang, I forgot the word that you called the conversation, but
inner talk.
Inner talk. You know what I mean? So, man, so again, thanks for allowing me to chop it up with your audience too. So, man, my journey in the media and marketing overall started probably around the age of 10. I was at the church I went to and grew up in. I worked on the TV ministry. So like we filmed the services, then the services went on TV the next morning or on Sunday morning. And then we had like a radio spot. And so that entire time, my mentor just trained me every single day to every Sunday. So I was like one of those kids that was at church Monday, Wednesday, Sunday, all day. Don't let it be one of those days where I got to travel to another church in Dallas, Texas. So, man, I learned so much. And that was also the way that my mentor kept all the guys together. And from the age of 10 to all the way to 18, I served on this ministry and learned how to use the camera and learn how to record. And, I learned how to manage microphones and all of this stuff that, is just hands-on experience. I went over to the University of North Texas, spent a little 6-year stint there. You know, longer than you're supposed to, but at the same time,
you didn't want to leave. It's cool. You ain't want to leave.
I didn't want to leave.
That.
Too lit. So I went to the University of North Texas and graduated from their television program called RTVF. Okay. And during that time, I was interning for Tom Joyner, one of the, I will say, he is one of the top 3 radio and media kind of moguls that we see or know of today that, you know, he paved the way. Yeah. And I also interned at Texas Legends, which is the D-League team for the Dallas Mavericks. One thing I'll say about working at Tom Joyner, man, like, imagine just being able to see this high-level profile black man pull up in a Ferrari and Rolls Royce every single day, like no off days, the fit crazy, drinking 1942, popping like, no, it was really like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I worked for his foundation after college, like, that his son was my boss, and he brought me on to work full-time to run marketing for the foundation. So I came up with advertising campaigns to push donations for HBCUs. I helped raise close to $2 million over the span of 3 years working for HBCUs. And of course, I didn't go to college in the HBCU, so I had to go learn about this community.
Yeah,
it's different. They party different. They think different. The classes are different. Everything's different. And so I learned how to raise money for these schools because the alumni really do care. You just you got to go seek them. And so, man, I got to meet some amazing celebrities during this time, like creating commercials with an Erykah Badu or NDRE. You know, I met so many people like
Instagram highlights are real.
Yeah,
I stole through your Instagram one time. I'm like, oh, he was there.
Yeah,
he was there too.
It's so crazy. And it's so crazy, man. Like my parents always say is like, you have the opportunity. You were having an opportunity there that nobody gets. Mm-hmm. Tom Joyner used to do these cruises where he would go. It was called the Tom Joyner Cruise, and they would go 6 days, like a normal cruise for the Carnival, but all black. I'm talking about lit comedy shows, concert, Frankie Beverly. It's turned. And I'm 24. I got a suite. My suite like overlooked the water. I got a balcony. You know what I'm saying? I'm the young guy. Like, it's turned up.
Yeah, you lit.
Yeah, it was. And then at that same time, like, I launched my first company, which is theculturesupplier.com, which was a media outlet, and it still is a media outlet that focuses on just really from a content perspective that is that empowerment. It's positive news. It's news that you can use. That's what I always said. Like, at the same time while I was working at Tom Joyner, I worked for NBC5 News in Dallas. Mm-hmm. So during the week, I was at Tom Joyner, and during the weekends, I'm like running the production studio, running scripts back and forth, all of that. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now imagine I do want to go to the club. Like, right. So I hit the club, man. I would hit the club and then just like sleep in my car and then go pull up to the.
You missed the house sale.
You skipped the house. I would live in my car, like, and when I say live in my car, like, I literally just go from the spot, go to a Waffle House or IHOP or whatever is open.
Yeah.
Sleep a little bit and then pull up to the studio and get it in, like, and work on these morning shows from the 6 a.m., which is the first hit, all the way up to the last hit of the morning, which is like 10:45 or something like that before they go into regular daytime stuff.
Okay.
So like, that's my 2 worlds for 3 years. And then I said, man, you know what? I need to take it to the next level. I had built my media company and I was getting a lot of work from that standpoint and covering events in Dallas. But I said I needed to like go get more advertising skills. And so I found a program that is called Verizon Ad Fellows. And it was an 8-month program. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go 8 months, go to New York. Mm-hmm. They're going to pay for everything. Like, they paying for me to live there.
Yeah.
The apartment, I got a job. Like, I'm gonna just
cool.
do it.
Yeah, I'm cool. Right.
It's 8 months. Like and then I'm gonna do it. I'm come back to Dallas, like, and just vibe or whatever, and just take that experience. Little did I know God had a completely different plan. So I ended up going to this program. I got in. I was one of the oldest in the program. I'm 27 at the time. Everybody else is like 23, 24. So of course I got the big head. I'm like, bro, I work for Tom Joyner, bro. Like, I'm good. Like, you know, that's my mindset. But also God is humbling me to make me go through this program, but also giving me exposure to the life that I desire.
Yeah.
One thing that I think is really interesting about this story is that I've never been to New York. There is probably only two things written down in my like space, like my journals or like an email that says I want to go to New York. And one is like to work for a big media company out there that I didn't get an internship for. And then another one was just like some kind of random thought. But when I looked at an apartment there, the apartment was not on Google. So I moved there not seeing the place.
That's scary.
Right? But it was there, but Google hadn't updated Google Earth to show the place.
That's why you can't find something on Google.
Yeah.
No, that's why. Like, you type in something in Google, you can't find it. Like, go,
you can't find it.
It's your one
Hell
job.
of a gamble.
Yeah,
it's a hell of a gamble too.
But you know, I went. I was blessed. My dad was able to come with me, and I packed 3 big suitcases, moved, and joined this program. At the end of the program, I got accepted an offer to another agency called Momentum Worldwide, where I did experiential marketing for Verizon on their sports partnerships. So they had partnerships with the NFL, the NBA, and Major League Soccer. If you ever watch an NFL game, you'll all the time you'll see like Verizon powered by 5G, Like, I'm working on that. That's the stuff that I worked on. And like, if you show up to a game, you would see these Verizon experiences. I was literally building those with this team at this company. So, and then I moved to another agency. Now I'm at a company where I do sports, music, and fashion for McDonald's. So right now, the last program I just launched was the McDonald's All-American Game. That did feature Lil Baby. It featured DJ Oreo. Cole Bennett came out. We also had Brittany Elena. We brought out Iman Shumpert. And then I also did a 7-city kind of different cities within Chicago, like promoting the game and did these activities and whatnot.
Yeah,
so
I seen a couple of the food trucks or something like that.
So we brought out the food truck. Yep. So that was really big. It was something I had prayed for, and that is in one of my journals. One day I'll release that kind of piece that says, like, you know, you write down what you want, and in some kind of way you manifest those things. And I just trust God, and He gives me these capabilities. I'm not doing this, right? Like, it's not me. It's just, you know, I just operate in that space. Like, I have to keep going forward. But I don't know how much time I took up with that one, but that was a lot to tell. Yeah, I hope I hit the high points on that one.
No, you definitely did. No,
yeah.
So so of course, like I said, I mentioned I saw you through the McDonald's. But as far as what else would I say? Like your fraternity and stuff like that. Like I've seen that you like do stuff like for them, like you part of a foundation and everything for them also.
Yeah, so I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. And so a couple things that I do is I focus on the Guy Wright Foundation, which is their youth program, and I work with the social content. So just getting the content that focuses on the kids the young men that are participating in our program throughout the year, and just really amplifying that from a national perspective. It's one of my passions I make time for. You have to make time for those things that people don't really see the value in, but I see the value in. One, I love my fraternity, but also like, I just love empowering the young kids. Like, I was that kid who went to basketball camps all summer and would look forward to the 17-year-old coming and picking on me and we playing one-on-one. And so it's the same mindset. I just switch it up a little different, and it's Instagram and social and, you know, being in the mix different.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. So you started off in the church. One of my guys I know, he started off in the church too. and he does like the filming, and he was doing like the filming, like the TV and internet and all that stuff for the church. And now he's like, he does like Fargo, like with Chris Rock and stuff like that. Like he's on the set of like doing stuff like that, being like behind the camera on that. I was like, man, that's crazy that you could just like jump from one thing, jump to another. I think he did that for like 2 or 3 years. I was like, man, that's just a crazy jump, just as far as like connections and stuff like that. And I think that's really dope. And like you said, for HBCUs, so I went to HBCU. I only went for a year. Yeah, you are absolutely right. Everything is different. But I was in HBCU. So we from Chicago. Yeah, my HBCU was in Holly Grove, Mississippi.
What HBCU is there?
Russ College.
Russ, yeah.
So wow. Yeah, exactly. And like when I went there, I was like, yeah, I'm from Chicago. I think I'm gonna be down here with a whole bunch of whoever. So I was like, oh no, I'm down here with a whole bunch of Chicago people too. I was like, all right, something's going on. Like we was like 15 minutes away from Memphis. Like the only club that we had near the campus was like, it was literally like a 5-minute walk up the street.
Yeah,
it was like the only spot.
Man, HBCUs was different, man. I went to like classics. So I would go to Alabama State versus Alabama A&M. And I went to Southern Homecoming, and then like, but I'm working.
Yeah, trying to.
And so the difference too is I'm not working with undergrad, I'm working with alums. So they move completely different. They're in the skybox, they have the campers, like they just is turned. And I'm trying to raise money for your school. And back here, but I ate good. You know, I learned a lot. I learned how to I think that as one thing that's kind of my really special tools, and I say this a lot, but like I can go in every room, but learn how to schmooze, and I can talk to the president and go over here and talk to, like, I just move around, and being able to do that allowed me to shape who I am today. Even if I didn't get $1 out of these alum, like I learned how to just talk and automatically know enough about a lot to jump into conversations and just give my 2 cents to help me stay in the circle. And I think that like, that's part of networking. That's part of growing your business. That's part of like being out there in a way that you can be comfortable. You don't have to push us. Like some people fear networking or connecting with people. Like sometimes if you just know enough and just be able to stand there and answer and mention a few things,
right words and everything like that. Yeah.
All you need.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask you. I was like, so I know you've been doing this since you were 10, but as far as like marketing and moving in rooms and stuff like that, like does like either the anxiety or like the nervousness, does that ever get to you? Like far as depending like who you talking to, probably say you talking to the, I guess probably the president of McDonald's or the CEO of, like you have to walk into those offices and those rooms and stuff like that. Like, like how does that feel? Like far as like, especially because you are the, I can't remember, but I think the senior.
Yeah, senior brand. I'm senior brand accountant at this agency right now. I'll say this, man. Like, there are times where, well, one, the anxiety. Like, I have these breathing exercises that I do one before I speak or do any speeches, or even before we hit record here. Like, my nerves are up because even though we just chopping it up, like, I still have to think a certain kind of way and make sure I just share the story right. But when it's time to go into rooms, like I also like do certain things. Like I won't just walk up to everybody. Like I go stand in the back and kind of watch, and then I start maneuvering. I go get a glass of water, and or like if I'm in a certain place, I won't drink. I do drink, but I won't drink in certain rooms. And it's like what my special drink that looks like everybody else's drinks, and make sure that I'm like in that conversation. I think that there's also these windows of opportunities, and they're called revolving doors. But if you ever see a revolving door, as it's turning, if you don't jump in and you try to jump in, you're going to get hit. But if you jump in at the right time, you can scoot along and you get out the door. And I use that reference because being around a lot of celebrities early on allowed me to know how sometimes you can walk in a room and they want to talk, and then sometimes they just want to talk about regular stuff. Like, don't ask me about a movie, don't ask me about anything. And so I've learned how to take those windows to be like, hey man, what you think about Dallas? Or what you know, did you eat really good yesterday? Like, and keeping it very general rather than really being
straight to the point type stuff.
But yes, when to answer your question, the anxiety sometimes gets a hold of me. There's this, I'll say it don't matter, but like rest in peace, Nipsey. But one day I'm standing outside this hotel. I'm on a project in LA, and I see Nipsey Hussle walking up. In my mind, I'm like, I just wrote this cool article on him about like his store. He had this interactive store. Scan barcodes. Yep.
I know.
And you could scan a barcode and lyrics come up and behind the scenes. And I see him walking up, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna tell him about my article. Like it's lit, like it's time. You know what I'm saying? It's time to go to the moon. But I freeze up because I just don't know what to like. I just say, I'll be like, I was like, what's up? And he just was like, he said, what's up, back? And he kept walking. And I was like, damn, I didn't even tell him about my article.
Yeah.
But that go back to that window of opportunity and that revolving door. Like every time I see it, I mean, like, dang. I think about this moment this happened in 2018 2018. So it's still a thought that goes in my head, but it's me learning how to control that anxiety and sometimes you're in rooms and you have to like don't have imposter syndrome and step up to the plate and talk to people, you know.
Yeah, I think that's one of my biggest fears too. Like, I don't know who I will probably be starstruck over or something like that. But I'm like, yo, if I run into this person, like, what's the right thing that I could say to this person right there when I'm there to get their attention and make them remember me? I don't want to say no wild stuff and just have them like, yo, get that nigga the fuck out of the room.
Whose man's is this?
That's the last thing I want to like, yo, that guy, you gotta go.
So, hey, sometimes you gotta stand out though. You gotta because they see a whole bunch of people always trying to sell them stuff.
All day.
Stuff. So you gotta come a little different.
Yeah. Are both of y'all from Chicago though?
Yeah.
Born and raised.
Yeah, man. I like Chicago. It's cold as hell, bro. Like, there's no reason. I went there, so I was there in March. The first weekend, I didn't take a real coat.
First you're from Dallas. First you're from Dallas. So, well, you're in New York too. So
I'm in New York, so like,
never mind. Your coat might be our same coat. Never mind.
Yeah.
But the second time I went, I had my big coat on and my Timbs. I'm like, bro, I'm not going out there like not about to be no sucker. Like looking, I'm talking about freezing.
It'd be like that sometimes. Our winters ain't been that bad these last 2 years. Like we
got the last 2 years,
but like it was way worse before.
Man, it's the wind. It was the wind, but no, I had a great time though. I forgot what's the pizza place I went to.
Was it Deep Dish?
Yeah, I had Deep Dish, but
Giordano's.
Probably Giordano's or
I was in the West Loop.
So it was either Giordano's or Illuminati's.
Illuminati's. I think that's what it was. Yeah. It was nearby the McDonald's headquarters, which is kind of near the West Loop area.
Oh yeah. That's definitely Illuminati's.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to get back there during the summertime because I want to go to a Sox game. Right, Sox to the Cubs.
Yeah, go to another go.
Yeah, Sox.
You got it right.
I mean, we got both. But
you know, like the one that like is the heart of the city. You know what I'm saying? Not the.
You don't mess with the Cubs. I'm sorry.
It depends on who you talk to.
I don't mess with the Cubs. I'm sorry.
You don't mess with the Cubs.
No, that's cool.
I'll start my leg sleeves like in July, and I got to drive past the Cubs stadium every time just to get to my tattoo artist. Like,
Wait, does the leg sleeve hurt on the front side of the shin?
I don't know yet. I will let you know though.
That's my only fear. Like
that's my last little space that I got left.
Yeah, that's all he got left. He a full canvas.
Oh yeah, that's dope, man.
Only space he got left is his legs.
Yeah, that's about it. That's about the lightest place I could probably get to get some color too. So that's a wrap.
That is dope. Yeah.
So far as like I guess working at McDonald's, I guess just working at any of these like places that you work. Period. So we always say, whenever like a big, huge company, Fortune 500, whatever company, they just don't get some shit right.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
good example would be Walmart with the
oh my God.
Juneteenth.
Why the fuck did you bring that back up? I was like, where's he going with this? You just said that.
I had to. We talking about marketing right there, man. We
Yeah.
obviously had a conversation about it too before. We was like, obviously it wasn't nobody that was our complexion in that meeting room, because they would have told them that's a bad idea.
I'll be like, I don't know about that one, fam. Like, man, you know what? Well, my bad. Did you want to add
that's it. No, that's it. I
Yeah.
just want to know, like, how does it feel like to probably be that one person, or like if you are the one person, or if it's like a whole group of like just black people in the room, like they just shooting out shots to see what sticks and stuff like that. Like how does that work? Like,
how do you navigate that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So like my agency, we're the agency that handles like the experiential so they're like live events for McDonald's. And another project that was like really huge that I didn't get to work on it, but my agency did, was you've probably seen like Travis Scott came out with a McDonald's meal, and
I did read that. Yeah, I did.
Mariah Carey and Sweetie. So like my agency is the one that put that together. When we look at and when we're in the room, and I can speak on the All-American game, but like I'm looking at every single thing from a lens of not only just being black, but like also culture, like what is like really lit and what is not going to move the needle the way they want to. And so I've learned to kind of like, also I stopped tailoring the way I talk in my presentations. Now I'm not talking like I've been listening to, and Gucci is one of my favorite rappers, but like early Gucci, big stomach Gucci, like I'm not talking like that. But I am keeping it very like, I tell them what's going to really have impact on not only the business, but also in culture, and making sure that people know like, yo, McDonald's been around for a very long time and they've had big staple moments in culture. And so we got to make sure that we still look at it from that lens of being, relevant and authentic. Like we're not going to do nothing lame and be like, oh yeah, we stand behind it. Like, no, we are not, right? We're really going to think through a way. Seriously, to empower everybody. Yeah, and so the Walmart, thing for Juneteenth, like, and I did work with Walmart on one of they did a drive-in during the pandemic, and so I worked on that project. But like, you see that Vaseline and the ice cream, it's like, yeah, nobody was in the room.
Yeah, the napkins and all that shit.
Especially the napkins that said it's the freedom for me. I was like, oh wow.
There's a part that they're trying to play in that Party City, kind of like, how Party City has themes for everything, but that's Party City. Like they can kind of, but Party City won't even go that far. Like they just gonna create the colors and be like, that's it. Like they ain't gonna put no words on it.
You can write your own caption to this. We just gonna provide the colors.
You want a design, go make your own designs. And I think that's just part of the big companies. And then like being on the account that I'm on, like I know that at any moment, like you can look and see that McDonald's is in the news every single day about something. And that's the good and the bad. I take that pressure on. And even for myself, when I represent the brand, like I also have to be aware of how I manage things and what I say. But at the same time, like it's a business. It's 100% a business. But when we step in a room, I'm in my fitted. I'm in my
They know what they're getting as soon as
they know what they're getting.
They already know.
Yeah, man. Like when I was at McDag, like I have 7 a.m. meetings. I'm pulling up in the hoodie and the kicks, like hat, like it's just me. And during the day of the game, like I'm fresh, like I'm Adidas stuff because it's sponsored by Adidas. So like I'm bringing that. But then if it's time to go talk to the CEO, like
you know how to dress up, you know how to put on, you know how to rock.
Yep.
That's cool. Yeah, because that's the one thing I think, like, far as like, because we've probably had like either one or two sponsors since we've been doing this podcast and stuff like that. And I let them know off rip before you just want to put an ad or put a bottle or whatever the case is, anything you want to put on this channel, just so you know, we are not changing. Right. So that's the one thing. And of course, it's always about leverage and everything like that. Who has the best leverage and all this other stuff. But we always say like, yo, we're not going to change because ain't no point of compromising, because if you're not going to accept us as we are already, and and if you actually watch our content, if you know how we talk, if you know what we talk about, we aren't the rude, insensitive, not giving a fuck people, but at the same time, we are the rude, insensitive, not giving a fuck people, because it's certain topics that we can go full blast on, but it's certain topics that we know to either avoid, or we know how to either compromise, or we know how to move like around those topics, because we are not here to offend anybody. Because like at my job, so a while ago we had a guy quit because he thought we was going to make fun of the way that he talked, like in front of like a full presentation and stuff like that. And me and other coworkers was like, we're assholes. Don't get it wrong. We are full-blown assholes, but we aren't fucking mean though. So, it's just certain things like, and Malcolm knows, like anytime somebody even approaches us with something, like, just so you know, none of our wording is going to change. And if we do something, it's going to be creative and it's going to be how we like it. And a lot of people either pull back or don't respond to it, and we just take it how it is, because that's how we are. Like we gotta express ourselves how we express ourselves. This is the reason for our whole damn platform in the first place, just so we can express ourselves how we want to. So,
At the end of the day, these brands could pull out or drop you for anything, and it can be anything. You just look at any of these I want to say any of these like content creators that's out there, and every time you hear like either some kind of allegation or scandal or whatever, these sponsors are quick. They just like they like without even finding out if it's true or not, they pull out, and then they might come back if, like, you know, everything dies down and stuff like that. But then at the end of the day, it's like, you know, you so-called trying to have this partnership with you know, this creator and stuff, and it's like it just can't be this one relationship where you want them to be dependent and kind of bend the knee towards you and stuff, because like it's something you want at the end of the day too. Like you want their audience, you want their like their reach. So like although like these companies think that like, oh yeah, these creators, they just want money and stuff, we could just throw X amount of money at, because like it's like he said, like CJ said, like it's been plenty of times where some crazy brands like reached out to us and thinking that like we were just gonna take money, and we were like, no, we're not putting this in front of our audience. Like, I'm not even comfortable like looking at this stuff or eating this stuff or whatever it is. Like, no, I don't want none of this stuff. Why would I try to sell this to our audience? Like, no.
That's the funny thing too, because like we have a YouTube channel. We've been on YouTube at least 6 years now. Okay, so but we don't even collect the checks. We give it to one of our homeboys because he's going through some shit right now. Like he's been going through some shit like the last like year and a half or some shit like that. Yeah. Wow. And we give him all the YouTube checks. Like I told him, like, because we make a little something. We ain't up there with the Paulers and all that other stuff. Whatever we make, we just like, like, okay, this is our expression. This is how we get everything out. Like, we have long ass weeks. we need to talk and get this shit out.
We gotta talk about this one.
Yeah, exactly. So like at the end of the day, like the money is cool if the money comes, but I'd rather take a big ass lump sum from somewhere else than just trying to take like here or there and checks like that. Like it's just certain stuff. Like I'd rather give shit. I'm better at giving away than keeping to myself, low key. So and that's kind of how we rock and roll. So but I like how you can. I like that you're the guy in that room, like when the brands are talking. But I also love like if you in there, like you want to make sure that culture is also like
being represented properly.
I think that's dope as hell, because I don't know if have you heard of Joe Fresh Goods? Yeah. So he has been doing like this thing with New Balance and stuff.
New Balance, yep.
He has. It was the first one was outside. Shit, I can't think of the first one. He had two collaborations. I know the first one was outside something, but this new one is like Inside Voices. And I love how he did, like far as like the commercial he did. Okay, so the first one is pretty much, the first collaboration was pretty much Black culture, but far as how we communicate with each other without actually like communicating. So like you go into a room, get a head nod from another Black person, stuff like that. Yeah. Like you look at his shoes, give him a head nod, like them fire, like stuff like that. And this other one, the one that he just did was the Inside Voices. It's more of he has a T-shirt that says, crap, like shush.
I'm trying to look at it right now.
I can't think of the damn. It's a T-shirt. Fuck, hold on, let me see. I love the quote on the T-shirt because it's just like something that like your granny would say to you and stuff like that. And I really think it's dope as hell. Of course, I can't remember because
but these shoes are so fire. Like I want a pair so bad.
Oh yeah, let me tell you. I've been going through trying to get these goddamn shoes. So I actually ordered some from StockX because I missed the chance to get them via IG and stuff like that. So I went to StockX. They were charging like $500. I wanted the shoes so bad. I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm just gonna spend that $500. Gave them 2 days. They never shipped it to StockX, and then the price went down to like $3 something. I'm like, what? Like, hold on, let me cancel all this together because you ain't just gonna finesse me out of like $200 something.
Nah,
so
do me like that, bro.
Yeah, and then I'm waiting on both pair actually. I ordered another pair. I got the first pair I got today. I bought it on eBay, so I'm waiting on them to come back. And the other one I'm waiting for Fight Club. So I actually bought both pair. But what the hell is the picture? I literally just had the picture up. Okay, here we go. It says simple fun that we all needed. And it's literally just like kids like playing around, jumping on the bed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just based off this like New Balance collab that he's been doing, I really think it's dope because it's literally for us. Like, of course, we used to have, of course, kids in like probably like 5-10 years, probably now, hell, they're not gonna know what the hell FUBU is or like what FUBU stood for and shit like that. They probably, I'm pretty sure if I go ask my 15-year-old right now, he's not gonna know what the fuck FUBU either is or what it even really stood for. Like for real, he won't understand for us by us. Like he won't know anything. Because I showed him a cassette tape one time. He looked at me like I was a goddamn
what is that? 100%. My bad. I look back, man, because the game is on. I was like, all right.
It's the finals. I understand. It's the finals.
Listen, truthfully, the Celtics almost gave the last game away. Jimmy Butler was like right there to like take it and steal it. But
I haven't seen a guy play 43 minutes and lose in a long time.
But I don't think he would have been able to push through that one. He would have made it.
I ain't seen a guy lose gracefully like that playing 43 damn minutes in a long time.
2 games in a row. Good Lord, man.
He was tired.
He was super tired. He was so tired.
But yeah. What else I had wanted to ask you? Okay, so as far as working with these brands, do you have so of course you're working with McDonald's personally now, but like do you have like a favorite brand that you like actually worked on like personally and like that really like touched you and like really like really like a part of you and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think that I'm trying to think, but man, sometimes it's not even the big brands. It's really some of my work that I do outside of my 9 to 5. It's the 5 to midnight work with the Culture Supplier and my media consulting company. And it's been like working with so I have an artist that I work on creative direction for. So encompassing their like album design and what the layout, how they were going to promote the album when it comes out. Like I'm putting together the whole marketing plan for the next, basically it comes out in June. So June all the way to December, an artist named Jersey Sun. And so I got to hear the album what's today? Thursday. So not this past weekend, but the weekend before that, I got to hear it. No skips.
Yeah.
No skips. And then that ain't like me. I have to like, you know.
I know you gotta like it because you work for them and stuff like that. Yeah, I gotta like it, but no.
But no skips. And if there is a skip, it's a song because it's Afro beats. Like it's a song that I just don't understand. That's not my culture in a way. Like I've grown to understand Afro beats just because of living in New York, but like that's not my origin of sound, right? Like when you're Nigerian, he's Nigerian, so like that sound it's in his roots.
Yeah, like what's the DC? I guess DC got their own sound and stuff like that. It's just
and it's in my roots, but it's different, right? And so Yeah, so I'm developing like creating, what DJs we're about to go to, every single day party we're about to go to in DC, Philly, and New York, and then what does we got to go wheat paste all the streets. So like, what day we're gonna do that, and how we're gonna paint them up, and who we're gonna call. Like that's the things that really inspire me too. It also gives me a place where I can play. That's the playground.
That's the creative part right there.
That's creative. So then when I come back, and now next year my client is McDonald says, all right, we got to pick a new artist, and it's whoever. Like, oh man, I tried this like unique way to promote the album from a virtual reality standpoint. I already tested it out. What's up? Now y'all got like, let's make it happen bigger scale. So I don't think about the brands from a 9 to 5. I think about all the times that I've worked with small businesses and influencers and reviewing YouTube campaigns and doing vlogs for people, or critiquing blogs and stuff like that. That's the I really enjoy doing a lot.
That's cool.
As you mentioned YouTube and other smaller creators and stuff, can you list like specific different genres of like creators you kind of work with? Like if you work with like painters, musicians, whatever.
So it's mostly musicians, so artists that really doesn't matter what kind of artist, gospel, hip hop. And then from an influencer standpoint for YouTube, it's like people who do from a fashion and also vlog their life. And kind of like, there was another person I work with, her name's Moxie D. And I just literally would sit in the room and say, okay, she's like, she does styling for NFL players. All right. So I'm like, all right, here is all 10 shots you need to capture when you go on this trip, from the PJ to the design to the store pickup to the boom, 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 boom. Like, all right, let me see all those clips. And then I'll just look at all the clips, and she'll edit it, and we'll, pass it on to editor. And having that creative direction on the holistic of like what she wants to put out. And that worked on Instagram as well as her YouTube channel. So even like coming up with content, because again, one thing that I can always tap back into is that I worked at Tom Joyner. So that means that I got to see a radio show every single day, and not no regular, just whatever. Like, no, this syndicated national show with over, I don't know, 200, 300,000 cars, whatever the number is. It's really huge.
Yeah.
So how to like format a
good ad and like a good
ads. How do you put the ads in there? I can write an ad, like, and I've done a couple shows where I can write the commercial ad and how to pitch it and how to talk about it, or and make it authentic. And I'm, again, being in that space, then you're somewhat media trained. So like now I'm media trained. So now I can pass the media training over. I can always get better, and I can pass that on to an influencer who their numbers are really high. But like, if you throw a microphone in front of them, you are really concerned about what's about to come out of your mouth. Or they don't know how to craft the story and keep people engaged in how they're going about their story. So again, the influencer, lifestyle blog, musicians are really the people that drive what I like to do. I think that sometimes I thought that it was products, like helping people that have products and small businesses. It's not, it's less about like helping you sell the product, but more about how do you position it from a creative standpoint? How do you insert it into people's worlds and make it look cool and not be like, oh yeah, I'm selling this thing. Like, no, we can create usage out of this and bring it to life in a unique way.
That's dope. So far as like your creative standpoint, do you still enjoy like being as creative, or because of course you're the person in charge, like whether it's just your project, your team, and stuff like that, does that creative that still like drive you like to the point where like, yo, I really need this to be correct because what I saw in my mind, what I saw in my vision, I need this like in real life type thing?
Yeah, I think that one, I still have creative things that I do outside of work to help me keep going. Example, this right here. I'm just shooting on this joint the entire summer. I'm gonna shoot on it the entire summer. I put out a reel actually today of me going to this party and like taking photos, and I just like made this reel, kind of creating this recap of this party. Like I'm just gonna do that all summer just to keep that creative muscle moving. But from a work standpoint, one thing about my background is allow me to be in different rooms all the time. So I can go sit in a creative room, data analytics, strategy. And so when I sit in the creative room, I have learned how to not only empower the creatives that are there, the designers and art directors and copywriters, but also I can jump in and be like, yeah, what about this? What about like, and even learn how to do one-on-ones with them. And like, I don't do it in a group setting, but I'll talk to them one-on-one on the side and just be like, yo, I really like this idea. Let's craft it just this way or turn it just a little bit. And that's going to hit us with the client. Like that's going to make the client love it. Because remember, I got to have the client hat on too, because it's got to go in front of them. You know what I mean?
Do you have, I guess, like a project that you want to work on, that, or like a company that you would love to work with, just based off like the premise? Like, of course, like I keep saying, like you got your own thing going on, and of course you can do whatever you want to, as far as the budget allows or stuff like that. But like, is there like an actual like company that like, yo, or like either, or like even an artist or anything like that that you would just love to work with? Like, yo, I would love to get this person in a room for like 10 minutes, get all my ideas out, they fuck with it, and then we just get the ball rolling. Like, do you have a person or like a project or something like that?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna run off a few. Like my first one is N1. I think that there's a place that N1 can really be back in the scene, from the street ball kind of like. There's the NBA, and then there's this other level. You have the Drew League, you have Ball is Life, you have Overtime League. You got all these people. They're all babies of N1. I don't care what you say. Everybody's a baby of N1, except the Drew League. Drew League's been around since the 70s, but the popularity of the Drew League has grown so much because since the lockout. But before the lockout, those same players would go play in N1. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, so that's one that's like, yo, if they call and they just need something, like, ready to go right now, like we call Headache, AO, everybody, we can pull up.
Escalade back out here.
No, wait, Escalade passed away. Did he pass away?
I don't know.
I
couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
But anyways, yeah, if not, like, you know what I'm saying, like making it really lit in that way. Then from other brands, or when I think about also artists, like I would go after, or not artists, but like athletes. So I'm going after Dame Lillard. He's very diverse, not only on the court, but off the court. You got music, you got style, you got the look, you got the chain, you got the logo Lillard. Like it's so much you can do from a experience standpoint. I would go crazy there. Tech wise, I would love to make something definitely happen with like a Robinhood financial tech. So a Robinhood or an Afterpay or Klarna, like all these brands that are creating accessibility to every community, right? Like
that's dope. Yeah.
5 years ago, 7 years ago, did we know about stocks? It was so far away. Like, man,
we knew about it, but they weren't as accessible as they are too now. Like you have to, like, however many years ago, like you actually have to pick up a newspaper or find whatever website that actually has all the stocks, and you still wouldn't know, like, what the hell is a NASDAQ? Nobody fucking knew. It's just going up. You want to be a part of it.
Not only that, you have to find somebody too. That
you have to find somebody to put stock money in for you.
And then you look at, all right, after you do that part, now there's a couple firms, like you can go to Fidelity and all that, but like it sounds intimidating. It's like, yo, what's going on in there? But then Robinhood come through with the app joint, and you like, yo, I can buy right now, and like I guarantee you we're gonna look up in 5 years and be like, there were some millionaires created definitely through the pandemic, but based off this app. Now, some people feel like Robinhood isn't this or that, but I think that it's created ability for people to get financially literate and but also have access and understand. And I got my alerts on, and I know when it's start going up and when it's down, and I'm reading a little bit more just to get my understanding. And I say Afterpay and Klarna because it is your new version of payments. And imagine that, like, there's layaway, and we're not, our community knows about, like, we buy stuff, we can't afford it, boom, 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 and we got to pay. But now I can get it. It's digital. I'm not getting interest. They're going to take the money regardless, but I may not have 100 today, but I got 25 to go get this fit for the trip or whatever, or my kid needs something or whatever it is. But Klarna, Afterpay, even though they're competitors, have created accessibility and access for people, for everybody. They level the playing field. And that's what I'm about. And my heart is like, you know, like working on things that level the playing field for everybody. Ain't no barriers no more. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
everything is open. That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part about the internet. Like, everything is open. Like, if you can't find out what it's about on the internet, then you probably shouldn't know, because at this point, like, it's too open and it's too much research already done. You're not the first person to think of this. So somebody has done the research already. Somebody has wrote an article. Somebody has done a YouTube video. Somebody has done something about the specific thing that you're looking for. So it's no way in hell that you shouldn't be informed on it.
That's true. Yeah.
On Mondays, I go to I watch Market Mondays with Earn Your Leisure and this group called Earn Your Leisure, and like, bro, they make understanding finances and stocks and paying attention to the market so like lit, like not lit, but like so understandable that you can't. You just get drawn in. You're like, bro, I ain't know nothing about the Apple stock split, but now I do. Like, you know, just like stuff that I would have skimmed over or ignored or didn't have an understanding, or, you know, the generation before us, like our parents, like I speak for my parents, like they did what they were supposed to, but then now it's time for me to be like, bro, we don't need a stigma on credit cards. Like, I don't fear them. I use them respectfully. Like, they can't get you in trouble, but I use it from a respectful standpoint. Like, so it's just that kind of stuff. Like, and so when I see the brands have that kind of that impact and that's their mission in some kind of capacity, even though that's not what they're saying, it is what they're saying. That's who I want to bring in and work with. So that was some brands and an artist or a celebrity that I would work with.
Yeah, that's dope. I ain't gonna lie. I need to be the face of PayPal and folk, because I've been telling everybody about PayPal and folk. Malcolm already know I was the first one. I condone PayPal and folk. They say, "Oh, you ain't got it right now? Oh, you got $90? All right, bet. Put it down."
Yeah, that's his new religion.
I'm the folk king around here. I ain't gonna lie to you. I done got everything on PayPal and folk. If it don't say PayPal and folk, like, oh, well, I just can't get it this time.
Not for me. It's not for me.
That's it.
Yeah.
Since you were talking about everything being more, I guess, accessible, as far as like future go, where do you see like marketing wise, like for like the future, like when you was talking about accessibility and stuff? So
I think from a marketing standpoint, like I think we see one with TikTok. We need to understand that TikTok is a audio and video search engine. Can you search audio and video on Google and Bing and all these places? Yeah, but it don't hit like TikTok. Like, it's different. And so when you think about your brand or you think about your product, making sure that you are finding a way to incorporate the trend of how people search on TikTok. And that's making sure, one, you're using whatever you're trying to sell in a way that can be useful. And that goes back to like incorporating it into the experience rather than being like, here's my shirt or here's this. Like, if you got a dual backpack that can be a carry-on and it's fly or whatever, like, you need to show it in that setting. But then also when you do it, create the content for it on TikTok, it needs to feel like, yo, Joey can pick that bag up tomorrow and he got to fly to Spain and he can use that bag and he gonna be fly because the TikTok
exactly how you saw it.
Exactly how I saw it. And I think that transparency the veil has been lowered and people can be like, all right, cool. Like, people really be reading reviews. So it's like, oh, that really, we're a little bit more transparent. And I think usage is key. So leaning more into that, how do people feel and use it all the time, video and audio wise, is the way. And also one thing I've seen in Amazon is like the key, they stay in the driver's seat with a lot of this is the ability to use AR kind of experiences so you can try on things. And
that's wild now. I forgot who it is. I think it's Goat or it's somebody. It's one of those dang on apps. Like they actually let you VR the shoe. Like they like, yo, show your feet. I know it's probably a feet finder person out there doing some weird stuff with it, but well, they let you try to show on virtually, and like you could twist your foot like this and everything and see what it looked like on the side and all types. I'm like, yo, that's wild.
Yeah, and I mean, what's the home place that people go on a lot and buy like bedding and stuff?
Oh, you talking about like Bed Bath and Beyond?
Yeah, but they use that same kind of experience where you just, does it fit in my room? Like
Best Buy does that too with their TVs and stuff like that. If you finna buy a TV,
bro, to be the person in the room and you're like, yo, the app should be called "Does It Fit in My Room?" And then that joint is the one, like, but it's so simple and the technology is there today. And
why not?
Why not?
That's also how they do real estate now too. Like, they build your whole house, your whole front room, all virtual. Like, if you want to put it right here, put it right there. If you want to move it over here, do that. It's all virtual. Like, that's crazy. Yeah,
that's crazy. And I think, like my experience when I worked on the Verizon account, I got to work on 5G, and this is early 5G, like 2018. Like now we are 2022. It's 4 years later. People still have all their thoughts about it. But I also got to be a part of a company that pushes in blue water, right? Like we are fighting every single, what T-Mobile do, what AT&T do. I'm like, bro, I don't care, bro. What are you doing right here?
Are we focusing on one thing right now, bro?
Let's focus. But it taught me how to understand, like when you're painting the new wave and creating the new waves, blue ocean, like there's nobody else doing 5G. You got to fight with the people to your right and left, but you got to keep creating. And people, again, I say that with the understanding that people do have their thoughts about the 5G and Verizon, like that's fine. Whatever, but I think I focused on how to focus on blue water, how to continue to create new products and use technology to press forward. And again, in some kind of way, we may not even see the power of 5, I sound like a commercial, but the power of 5G today.
Yeah,
but we will, right? And the projects I've worked on, we simulated a lot of that, and it was in real time using some of that as well. So it was cool. Like, but people had their thoughts. But I say that all to say is like, bro, sometimes operating in blue waters makes you kind of focus different and think about how to impact the world in the future.
Have you ever worked with any brands where they had something just fail? Like, because I know you mentioned the 5G, that was like a big thing, and like that's like a continuous big thing. So I'm just wondering on the other end of the spectrum where like they thought this was gonna be like the new thing, and then it turns out it's not the new thing.
I think when even like 5G, like I go back to the beginning stages of when it's out to the public. So 2018-ish, like there are moments where we were testing stuff and it's like, dang, it's not hitting. We got to like change a whole, like we were renting out like these storefronts and building these experiences. And before we go, we would have to go test and see if 5G would be even capable in this spot. It only was in certain spots. And we get there, we can be like, damn, it's not working here. So we got to go find another and start all the way over. And if you ever searching for venues and leases like in LA, it's hard.
You talking about LA? No.
Yeah, it was LA.
I thought you were just talking about Chicago. At Chicago, I was like, mate, it's hard as hell. But if you go to LA, hell no.
LA, Houston, Indy, and Sacramento. So like you gotta have a storefront, but it gotta look like the brand would really be there. So all these elements and having to start over. Bro. I started over like 4 or 5 times in 4 cities to get this experience out. The team that I was working with, and it like that testing and so again, like I would say that in some kind of failure, but it's really trying again. I really don't look at it like failing completely because we did execute the experience when it came out.
You guys hear it here first. Marcus was the one putting those 5G poles in the hood. And
that's why I said what I said. Like some people do have their thoughts on it, but like
that was stupid. That was just a stupid internet thing going on.
Yeah,
I don't know why nobody believed that.
Come on, man.
But yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Let me think. I think I had like one more question. I actually lost my mind. Of course.
I'll say this too. Like I think from an audience standpoint, like whatever it is from your business and whatever you desire, like consistency is key. The 10,000 hours is real. Yeah. Like that shit's real. And I think that we all think the internet is fast, it's moving a lot, but like, bro, the story I told today, you know, started at whatever, 23, 24. And like, now I feel it's different right now. And it's taking time, but like consistency is key. And then, but also give yourself grace when the moment isn't happening like you want. And it's okay to like look over to your right and left and see what the homie's doing, but don't get stuck on it because the way the plan is set up, it's so tailored to you. Like you can't even compare what is happening in the other lanes. If you do, like you will fall and you will trip and you're gonna get left behind because you like try to compare your story to their story. And not to be cliche, but like it is customized for you, like the dream and whatever you desire.
Yeah, I guess I gotta ask one more question. As far as where you are right now, do you have like a cap or like a ceiling, or like do you feel like it's just so much way more? Like, because of course, time is probably limitless, especially if you were like how you're working right now, especially like the 10,000 hours thing. Yeah, you literally going to the club, sleeping in your car, waking up, starting at 6, and then just keeping it going, especially for 3 years. Like where you are right now, like of course, this probably isn't your cap, but like where's the limit that you think like, all right, I'm good, I'm the master. Of course, you already got your own company going. You're putting people on. You're going through like the stages and stuff like that. Like, do you have a cap, or like is it just like above and beyond? Like right now, like we just gonna keep going. We just gonna keep pushing this.
Man, I'm gonna keep pushing it, and I'm not gonna put a cap on my dreams. But I will say that like next 2 years, I will end up working with some athlete on their in basically internal brand, really kind of driving who they are. If that's, you know, the next prospect that comes out from the NBA or WNBA or Major League Soccer. And then the step after that is to CMO the lifestyle, like straight chief marketing officer for a really dope brand, leading them, you know, across their sports portfolio.
That's dope.
And then I go do my own thing, man. Teach school, be a professor, and you know, ride it out. You know, but you know, but I won't cap it, man. I think that the biggest thing is like, as long as I'm in a space that I'm really empowering my community, I'm uplifting other young men, opening doors for them to walk through, and you know, doing things that just who I am at my core. Like I don't want to ever step outside of that. Like I still fight with that thought of like I'm being called to do something with the church in some kind of way, but I just haven't found it yet, and I pray on that a lot. But I know it's coming, right? And you know, I see different opportunities there. So I think that's where it will lead me to. Man, TD Jakes, call me back, man. You know what I'm saying? I interviewed TD Jakes one time where I was so nervous. I have a podcast out with him, and actually just commenting, saying that right now. I'm gonna repost it. But from TD Jakes to Kirk Franklin, like to all these like mega churches and these mega gospel stars, like it's the same. Like I know how to run that same formula and impact that, but like you know your calling, and no matter what, gotta pull you in some way, you know. But that's kind of how I think about it right now.
I got one more question because I just thought about it. Is there a person like far as like marketing that you consider like up there, like I know like that you probably have met, or somebody that you just want to like just be like a fly in the room, like far as like a Gary V or something like that? Like, is it somebody that's like high up there for you that you would just want to like be a part of or something like that?
Yeah, Gary V is lit. He's the reason. He's not only him, but Eric Thomas and Les Brown were kind of that's what I listened to for 2 straight years before moving to New York. And so, but from a marketing standpoint, it's Boz. She has led Apple, and she's been the head of a lot of companies, CMO for a lot of companies, and also Maverick that leads for LeBron with Spring Hill and Clutch Sports. So that's where I'm at, right? And there's some other people that are out there that like create really, really impactful work. And that, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I tweeted this earlier too, and whatever, but like, bro, I keep seeing the list. I keep seeing the top 25, top 20, Yeah. My name not on that joint right now, and I'm upset. So I'm on y'all heads.
Right.
But at the same time, you know, everything in time, in God's timing. And again, that go back to what I just said about like looking to the right or left. I keep looking at that list and upset while I'm not on there. I got to keep putting in for hours because it's coming. You know what I mean? But you know, I don't need the accolade because this is not me. It's, you know, God has given me these skill sets. But at the same time, like, I want that trophy, bro. Like, trophies. I want trophies. Moneybag Yo said this. He said, if they print it, I'm getting it. And that's what I feel like.
I saw that shit today. I saw that caption today.
He said, if I'm printing it, if they print it, I'm getting it. What? Bro, I'm turned up. I didn't, literally, that's the 3rd time I didn't said it today. So I'm like in that mindset of like, is I, again, going back to the list or looking to the right or left, or my aspirations for, you know, the Dames of the world and Damon John and Dame Dash and like all these people that really like move, I'm talking about move the needle. And I watch Scooter Braun, like I watch their interviews all the time. Like I'm not like, I watch basketball, watch a couple things, but it's YouTube content and like interviews for the people that I'm trying to be like, or surpass or create something that has the same kind of impact on the culture.
Yeah, I'm watching that Earn Your Leisure and Dame Dash interview right now.
I'm telling you, bro, Earn Your Leisure.
I'm like 2 days in right now.
and even that clip that they use now, it's like he say something like, my people don't go to something, but he was like bag drop. And they use that now as the intro clip to every podcast show. And that what's crazy about that is like that was like one of their peak moments of their show. It's like having him on because like, bro, Dame is one of the masterminds behind what
Dame is Dame.
Yeah.
Ownership 100%.
Yeah, facts. Malcolm, you got any more questions?
I think I got one. So picking your brain, marketing wise, all the different social media platforms and stuff. So what if, I guess you had to consult a brand or something on social media, what would be your top ones that you would say that they should just focus on? So like if they didn't have like a TikTok or YouTube, whatever, like what ones would you tell them? Like, all right,
what's the algorithm is what he wants to know.
I'm TikTok 100%. Like I'm about to actually do a test. I'm gonna probably try it next month. I've been kind of like stirring my brain on what's a new TikTok I can create. And I think I got it. I don't know. Yeah, I think I got it. But it's definitely TikTok. If I'm on, one thing about TikTok, you can create from there and use that algorithm of 7 seconds or less, and then go straight to Instagram, drop the same reel, take the same piece of content, go to shorts on YouTube and drop that joint. YouTube shorts is I think is more audio than anything. Every clip that I watch on YouTube Shorts is all like that 6 to 7 second soundbite. Vlad asks a question, Iman Shumpert give a wild ass answer, or Vlad and Abusi, and then or I watch No Chill Gil podcast. So like Gilbert Arenas say some wild stuff, and so that's the clip for 8 seconds, and that joint is 20K views. I'm like, yes, I need those numbers, bro. Like that's the numbers I need on my stuff. And I say this, like the other day I did an Instagram reel post, and I was like, bro, I'm gonna just let this go. Like I was on the train, I recorded like the train moving, and then I had a tweet that I like just copied and put it on there. Dropped it. It was 3 seconds, bro. Within 45 minutes, I'm already at 12,000 views. Like, so now when I go look at my insights on the back end, it's this huge spike, but the huge spike is coming from that video. And it's like, all right, I need to mix in more of the 3 to 5 seconds, along with my, my personal kind of like vlog styles that are like,
How do you flip that over to the actual stuff that you actually got going on and stuff?
Yep. So now I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play around with the 7 to 16, and then I'm gonna throw a bunch of like 3 seconds in and see if I can like trick the algorithm early in the morning and like put me to the front. And don't let me, like, it's coming, but the book and the things that I have a book that I'm working on. So like that book, now when I trick the algorithm, now I got something to sell. Like right now I don't have anything to sell. I'm just booking shows, like, and having these conversations and continue to put my brand out there. But like when the book dropped, now I didn't learn how to figure out how to hit the algorithm and sell. Yeah, get people to buy, man.
So basically whore yourself out. all the social media platforms. Unfortunately,
social media is our new world. That's our new
it is.
New TV lens. It's like you can't even
you can watch one channel now. Like I can go on TikTok and be like, bro, I'm finna watch DIY backyard, and I literally would get every single thing. I didn't send 10 videos to my dad and my mom, like, we should be doing this with our backyard. And they're like,
I got a backyard, right? Hey.
You see this gazebo, they built it in 7 days. We can do that. Like,
that's me and him all damn day. Like if we're not talking, we send the TikToks back and forth all damn day.
Like, look at this.
Look at, you see this? Like, it'd be crazy, man. So yeah, that's but yeah, I think that those are the two social platforms. I think Twitter still has this power, but it costs to be there. I use Twitter Space. I've been trying like 20-minute shows on Twitter Space over the last month to see. I don't get anyone to listen in, but that's okay. Consistency. It's 10,000 hours. Getting practicing, thought leadership.
When somebody does join, then you already know how to
roll it. I'm rolling. You know what I'm saying?
So maneuver. Facts.
Yeah.
All right, that's dope. If you don't got anything else, Malcolm, we're gonna wrap this up. Marcus, just shout out your socials. Shout out anything that you're working on right now that people should probably be looking out for. And go ahead.
Yeah. Again, thank you for having me on the show. My social across all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, and I use Facebook or whatever, but it's Marcus D. Gilmore, and then my TikTok is I Kick Moons. And yeah, one of my biggest projects is the release of Jersey Sun's album that comes out, his first studio album in June, or this is June. So at the end of this month. Okay. And look forward to dropping one of my little passion projects. I'm not going to say little, one of my passion projects of, my summer vlog off the digital camera. We're going to see if it look lit or not. I don't know.
What's that thing's called? A coffee table book?
Yeah, I mean, like, man, products digitally, like man, that shit crazy. So, but yeah, that's what I've been working on, and very grateful for the opportunities that I've had from a corporate standpoint and working in advertising. And again, when you all see work and you think about who's in that room, I'm in that room, and I'm not only in the room, but I'm like making sure that I'm putting vendors on, I'm putting photographers on. Whoever I can, a driver, whatever it is, I'm putting us on to get opportunities into the space. and put that bag in our pockets.
Facts.
So yeah.
I like that. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This is Marcus Gilmore. This is our intro talk. I hope y'all enjoyed. My name is Clint.
My name is Mal.
Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell. Make sure to hit all the socials, everything like that. Y'all already know Dreads Podcast. And for Twitter, it's 2 Dads with Dreads. And we out. Marcus, stay behind. We're going to do a little BTS talk and everything like that. And I hope y'all enjoyed this. So we're going to end this, and we will holler at y'all. Today is Thursday. We're going to holler at y'all on Saturday. Yes, sir. We're going to holler at y'all on Saturday. So, yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the podcast. Holler at y'all. See you Saturday. Peace out.
Deuces.